say temperate climate and the alpine climate. On the basis of this, within tropical we have the dry tropical, we have the humid tropical. So this is one of the criteria. On the basis of soil of India, we have the different types of soil, like alluvial soil. We can classify India on the basis of soil. On the basis, this is red soil, this is black soil. We have laterite soil. We have mountain soil. We have the desert soil. This is one. On the basis of vegetation also we can divide the country, Indian subcontinent, in different types of climate, vegetation. So vegetation, you know, evergreen rainforest, evergreen forest, deciduous forest. Within deciduous we have the two type of deciduous, dry deciduous and the moist deciduous. Then we have the thorny vegetation, we have the conical vegetation. So this is the different. We have the mangrove vegetation, we have the mangrove, we have the desert vegetation like cactus. These all are the physical divisions of the country, but as in your syllabus basically you have to discuss R.L. Singh. R.L. Singh's division of India, physical division of India. This is actually geography of India. The first time geography of India was, as you know, was written by one Arab geographer, Al-Baruni. He wrote a book, Kitab al-Hind. Second geographical interpretation of India was given by O.H.K. Spate. That was the geography of India, Myanmar and Sri Lanka. The third time after independence, the first geographical interpretation was given by Professor Ram Lakhan Singh from Allahabad University. So he is no more, but he worked on each and every corner of the country. R.L. Singh correlated the human occupation with the physical conditions of the country and gave a in-depth inquiry and insight about the regional classification of the country. So he gave the physical classification, the most accepted physical classification of India. So he divided India into 4 mesoregions and 11 macroregions. So if I say 4 mesoregions, first he said the Himalayan region. Himalayan region. And in the Himalayan region, he said one is Western Himalaya and second is Eastern Himalaya. Means Nepal, east of Nepal and west of Nepal. Then there are some micro regions also. Western Himalaya is further subdivided into Kashmir Himalaya, then Himachal Himalayas and the Kumaon Himalayas. So these are the further subdivision, but we will stick to the meso and macro region. Second region, this is one classification you know very well. Second is humid regions. So basically this is the humid region, what we discussed, Great Plains of India. On the basis of that, they divided the country, Great Plains of India. Great Plains. Great Plains. and Great Plains are divided to different sub-regions. There are the two type of macro classification. One, he said, we have the Bhabar region, we have the Bangar region, we have the Khadar region, we have the Tarai region, we have the, sometimes Khadar is also known as the Doab region, and the Delta region. This is one classification, but if we come over to the macro region, he further sub-classified into Rajasthan plain. Rajasthan means that is called Bagar plain, or it is also known as Marusthali plain. Second, it is Upper Ganga plain or the Satluj and Yamuna plain. I gave you one region, agroclimatic regions of India. In that region, the area which registered Green Revolution, this is the same region, Satluj Yamuna plain means Punjab plus Haryana region. The third region is Ganga plain. Ganga plain is further subdivided into Upper Ganga, Middle Ganga and the Lower Ganga. And beyond that, third another is Brahmaputra. Brahmaputra plain. This is the second regionalization. Here I want to share something about the Bhabar region, which I guessed earlier, you may not be knowing. In the mountainous region, when a river entered to the plain from mountain region, it is the zone of erosion. When a river flows from the mountain towards plain, it is the zone of erosion. And beyond this region, river started accumulating different size of stones, and the diameter of the stone started decreasing. So this is the zone where only stones are accumulated. In the transitional zone, all stones are there. Sometimes water flows under the stone. Water is not visible in some of the rivers. Water disappeared and again reappeared over here once the stones are over. Sometimes in the season, in dry season, nowadays in river Yamuna, near Hathini-Kund barrage, near Paonta Sahib in Himalayan foothills, if you go to here, near Kalsi is a place, we can cross over river Yamuna without touching the water. But after 10 km, 20 km, again water reappeared because water is flowing under the stones. So all stones get accumulated here. This region is called Bhabar region. In the foothills, always there is a stony accumulation and stones and beyond. This is basically boulders, cobbles, pebbles, gravels. So these are the different sized stone. Now the sand comes. This is sand and silt, and near the delta it is the clay. So this is where the stony accumulation is there. Sometimes stones are spread over. That region is called Bhabar region. So every river, whenever a river enters to the plain, it makes a Bhabar region. Like between Rishikesh and Haridwar, Ganga river also makes the Bhabar region. So it accumulates the stones sometimes, and sometimes water is, though in Ganga carry more water than river Yamuna, so it is very difficult to cross. But stone accumulation is called Bhabar region. When we go to Dehradun, when we travel on the national highway number 58 from Roorkee to Dehradun, a dry river used to appear parallel to road. There is water in the river, but it is not visible because water is under the stone. That region is called Bhabar region. So this is the second type of plain and second type of mesoregion, and the third type of region what R.L. Singh gave is called peninsular plateau. This is the third mesoregion, This is peninsular upland. Upland, actually they use the upland. Upland means plateau basically. R.I. Singh used the word upland for plateau, and it is further subdivided to different, you can say, macro region, and these macro regions are basically eastern Rajasthan. Eastern Rajasthan means east of Aravalli. The hilly region around Kota, Bundi, that region is called Hadoti cultural region of Rajasthan, is that falls in peninsular plateau. One region, another is called Bundelkhand, and the Vindhyachal and Baghelkhand. Baghelkhand means the eastern Madhya Pradesh, Rewa, Satna, Katni. That region is called Baghelkhand. And Chota Nagpur Plateau, CNP is Chota Nagpur Plateau is the region, one physical region. Then Meghalaya. Meghalaya means Garo, Khasi, Jaintia plus Nilgiri Hills. This is one, and apart from this, the Deccan Plateau. Deccan is the Maharashtra, Telangana, northern Karnataka, Gujarat, you can say Saurashtra. So this is all Deccan, and beyond Deccan it is Sahyadri. And Eastern Ghats. Sahyadri means Western Ghats. This is Eastern Ghats. And Tamil Nadu plain. This is Tamil Nadu upland. Plus southern Karnataka. Plus southern, or you can say the Rayalaseema. This is the third mesoregion, physical division of India, and the fourth region is called coasts and islands. What are the coasts? Coasts, basically we have three coasts. One is the Gujarat coast, western coast, and the eastern coast. Western coasts are very narrow, you know very well. We have studied, they are comparatively wider. Eastern coasts are comparatively wider. Further, if you make it coast, islands are also there. Islands are Arabian Sea. Arabian Sea islands are basically coral islands, like Lakshadweep and all. These are the corals. And under Bay of Bengal island are volcanic islands. Volcanic islands are basically Andaman and Nicobar islands. These are the basically volcanic islands. Apart from that, some insular islands. Some insular islands located to the west coast of India, like in the west coast of India, like sometimes you know Diu. Diu in Gujarat is a separate union territory. Then, like you must be knowing, Pamban Island in Tamil Nadu. Pamban Island in Tamil Nadu. There is a railway track also. Pamban Bridge is also there that connects mainland to the island. That's very interesting. It's a marvel of engineering. that over the sea we connected this island with the help of the railway track. Then there is an island called Waipin Island. Waipin Island is in Kerala near Kochi. Waipin Island. And apart from that, Piran Island in Gujarat, Piran, Piran Island. So these are the different insular islands. Some islands are also there, like you must be knowing in Bombay, Haji Ali Mosque is there, that is almost 300-400 meters from the coast. So that is also an insular island. So such type of islands are also the one physical locations they are the part of. So this is about the RL6 classification. You have studied the entire, all the regions, their characteristics and properties. Now come over to the P. Sen Gupta. P. Sen Gupta also further classified India in the regional island. May I clean it? Wait, note it down quickly. May I clean this side?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Actually, we have Planning Commission as well as NRSA. NRSA with Planning Commission classified India into different agroclimatic regions. They and P. Sen Gupta, that this agroclimatic region, the basis is of the classification given by P. Sen Gupta. And it was Jalina Sadasuk also. Basically, this is the job of the this Sadasuk, a Russian lady from Moscow, with the help of P. Sen Gupta, they worked on India, and in 1968 they classified India into in 1968, that is the economic regions. Economic regions of India. These economic regions are based on the agricultural economy. Agricultural economy of the country. P. Sen Gupta, they also classified India into different macro and meso regions. So it is the macro regions and the meso regions. I'll say again they classified the Himalayan region. Himalayan. The further I'll write some crops also. Which crops they are growing, because the entire economy is based on the crop growing conditions. It is Western Himalaya, it is Western Himalaya and it is the Eastern Himalaya. But if we see the crops, Western Himalaya, what are the crops? Basically wheat, millet and maize. And Eastern Himalaya, it is the plantation crop. Plantation means tea plus rice. The economy of the region is based on the tea and rice in the Eastern Himalaya. So since it is the mountainous region, so they have the maize also, because entire economy of Arunachal Pradesh is based on the maize and some pulses and millets, you can say. Millets are also there. But in the shifting cultivation also, in northeast, in Purvanchal, farmers generally used to cultivate maize. apart from Himalayas, the second region is called dry belt. Sen Gupta used the word belt, Himalayan belt, dry belt. Dry belt means dry northwest plain. Further, they use the dry peninsular plateau. And the third, basically there are the two subdivisions of dry region, and the nature of crops get changed. It becomes millets, oil seeds, gram, bajra, etc. And here cotton, sugarcane, oil seed, millets. The third region is subhumid belt. This is all dry belt. Basically, this is northwest plain, means western Rajasthan, area adjacent to Rajasthan, area of Haryana, adjacent area of Punjab, Gujarat. They have these crops. Dry peninsular plateau. Dry means in Rayalaseema, in rain shadow zone. This is the one of the region. And another is this is subhumid belt. Generally, this dry belt is the one which receive rainfall less than 50 centimeter and less rain. Annual rain out of the total rain. Subhumid is more than 50 centimeter, and this includes, number one is upper and middle Ganga plain. Upper plus middle Ganga plain. Upper and middle Ganga plain is known for wheat, rice, sugarcane, maize, potato. So these are the crops.
Some millets are bajra, na?
Coarse grains. And millets includes pulses also. Rajma, arhar, moong, the different type of pulses. And here, let me take another one more region. This is number Upper Ganga plain. Just south of Upper Ganga plain is next to Upper Ganga plain is subhumid peninsular plateau. Subhumid peninsular plateau. This is number one. This is A. This is the B of subhumid belt. Main belt is subhumid belt. And in this region, apart from this, the C region is also there, subhumid peninsular plateau and subhumid coastal region. Now come over to the crops. Crops, subhumid peninsular plateau, like in Madhya Pradesh, we have wheat, we have millets. Millets means pulses. Pulses, cotton, groundnut, sugarcane, cotton, groundnut, sugarcane, and oil seeds. Very important, oil seeds. some sub-humid coastal region. In the coastal region, Western Ghats and all, and in the where humid moisture is there, so it is rice, same millet, tobacco, and oil seeds. And the fourth region, this was the third region, right? There is three, and the fourth region is called humid belt of India. Humid belt. This is from 50 centimeter to 150 centimeter. Oh, sorry, it is 125 centimeter. Sometimes rainfall. And the humid, we have in the humid belt, we have a region, it is called Eastern Plain. Eastern Plain means Brahmaputra, Bengal and Odisha Plain. B is Peninsular Plateau. Peninsular Plateau is the one region like Chota Nagpur Plateau, Bastar Plateau, Eastern Ghats, and the C region is called Eastern Hills. Eastern Hills are the hills of northeastern India, Garo, Khasi, Jaintia, Mikir, Shillong Plateau, Purvanchal Hills. So this is Brahmaputra Plain, Bengal Plain, Odisha Plain, Plateau, basically Chota Nagpur Plateau, Meghal Plateau, Bastar region. Eastern means Shillong Plateau and Purvanchal, and beyond this the fourth region is also there. This is the western coast or the Western Ghat, which receives substantial amount of rain. So they have the nature of vegetation, crops get changed. It becomes rice, tea, jute. Now jute is replaced by rice and the oil seeds. And the Peninsular Plateau, we have the millet, oil seeds and rice. Because Mahanadi Basin is also known as the rice bowl of India. There is a millet, there is a coarse millet that is called lathyrus. I don't know whether you are aware or not, but मैंने बताया था नहीं आपको. It's a kind of disease. Lathyrus is a disease. It is because of the Khesari dal. Khesari dal. It is commonly found in Chota Nagpur Plateau and Odisha and Bastar region and this Meghal region. It leads to lathyrus. If we consume it, it affects the neuro system of the human being as well as the animals. But we feed to the animals. We have some restriction on the human consumption. But still in the drought-prone area, poor people, tribal people used to consume this Khesari. It prone to paralytic attack on the human body. It found in the same region, Peninsular Plateau in the eastern. And the further eastern is Eastern Hills. Eastern Hills means northeastern hills, where tea is there. Apart from tea, it is rice and cotton is also there. And apart from that, Western Ghats, it is क्या होता है? It is rice in the valleys plus spices, because Western Ghat is known for spices, and horticultural crops, millet and please wait.